Hello, this is Louise Baker-Martins. I'm a clinical psychologist and this is the final video that I've made on the topic of looking after your sleep at the time of Covid-19. So this one is focusing on habits, both helpful and unhelpful habits, and how those impact on the quality of sleep we receive. So some of this may be very familiar sleep hygiene principles, but just reminding ourselves of a few that are particularly relevant at the moment. So first of all, thinking about caffeine and limiting our caffeine intake. So there are times when having a cup of coffee can be really helpful. So if our sleep drive is high, if we feel that if we were left to sit down and relax for 5 or so minutes, then we would be asleep, then it may be really important to have that cup of coffee so that we can carry on our roles and responsibilities in a safe and effective way. You'll get a temporary kind of pick up, and that will help you with your alertness and attention. So that's a valid use of having a cup of coffee. But being aware that there are times during the day when actually what we're feeling is mental fatigue, and it may be easiest to reach out for a cup of tea and use that as the way to get through. But what may be most helpful is to have a break, take yourself away from the situation, go and have a walk, get some natural sunlight, go and have a drink, have a chat with somebody. That can actually be what is needed when we're feeling very fatigued. So being aware of limiting caffeine so that at the end of the day, you're not going to have difficulties falling asleep and staying asleep as a result of it, because caffeine takes a long time to process in the body. Second one to think about is alcohol, and just being aware of firstly what's typical for you. So if you're somebody that has a glass of wine or a beer in the evening and it's never really had an impact on your sleep, then of course that's not a problem. If what you're finding is that the habit is picking up at a time like this because you're feeling particularly stressed or you're struggling to cope, then not only is that going to impact your sleep, because alcohol does really impair our sleep quality. It often is a reason for why people have multiple wakings during the night. So being aware of the impact that has on sleep, but also that might be an indicator that you need to reach out for some help and to access some more appropriate coping strategies before things begin to spiral. The next one to think about is use of screen time, so laptops, phones, TV, the whole lot, for several reasons. Firstly, because of how overstimulating it can be at the moment to have a constant stream of information, updates, news feeds, whatever it is. It can be really overwhelming, and then by the time you go to bed you want to talk through that with your partner, and so you start a COVID related discussion late at night, whatever it is. It's really hard for the brain to settle down and be ready for sleep if that's going on. So how can you be boundaried about when you want to access that information? When can you best process it and deal with it? Probably not late at night. The other part of that is the exposure to blue light. So probably for many of us, we are exposed to far more blue light than we would normally be, which has the really unhelpful effect of suppressing melatonin production. So it can mean that we are ready for sleep much later on than we would normally be. So good practice is to turn off the bright lights that you have in your house in the evening, cue sleep by putting on those warm lights. In addition, we can protect our sleep if we are going to have lots of screen time by turning on those blue light filters, even investing in a pair of blue light filtering glasses. If you need to be working into the evening, using those glasses from 8 o'clock or whatever can be really helpful to buffer us from the negative effects of that blue light. Finally, keeping up positive habits like getting regular exercise within the restrictions that there are at the moment, getting exposure to natural light, eating well, all of these things that can also help to release some of the stress and the tension that there is in the body. And finally, making the bedroom environment somewhere that is relaxing, that cues sleep, and that you want to be for wind down, for relaxation, for rest, for sleep. So that's the end of my series of videos. I hope that you find them helpful. If you have any questions or would like some information, then please contact us.